Listen to the story of the Kitsune, a magical fox from Japanese legend. It's a great way to practice your English and learn a valuable life lesson at the same time. Welcome to this video about the Kitsune, the magical fox from Japanese mythology. Cunning, powerful, and mysterious, with multiple tails, shape-shifting powers, and a story that has been passed down for centuries. But who, or what, is the Kitsune really? A wise protector? Or a dangerous seducer? Keep watching and uncover the secrets of this mythical fox. Long ago, nestled among the forested hills of inland Japan, lay a small village called Tsukimura, the village of the moon. The people lived simply. They grew rice, wove silk, and followed the rhythms of nature. But there was something special about this village. At the edge of the bamboo forest lived a mysterious old man in a simple hut made of wood and thatch. He called himself Soma. No one knew exactly when he had arrived. It seemed as if he had always been there. His eyes were sharp, his voice calm, and his smile ever present, though no one really knew why. Each day, he would walk slowly to the river and sit upon a smooth stone, silently listening to the flowing water. Children called him the Fox Man, because he carried a strange scent of pine needles and smoke, and because his shadow sometimes seemed just a little too long. Still, the villagers listened to him, not because he demanded it, but because his advice struck deep, simple yet true. One autumn day, when the red maple leaves fluttered through the village like fire butterflies, a young traveler arrived. Riku, a clever and ambitious 20-year-old. He had studied in the city, learned of wealth, power, and instant fame. But he had no patience. He wanted success now. The villagers told him of the old wise man by the river. "He knows everything," said a farmer. "If you dare to listen," added an old woman. Riku went to him. "You there, are you the wise man? Tell me how to become rich, fast. I want influence, money, status. I don't have time." The old man looked up. His eyes sparkled, but he remained gentle. "Wealth comes with depth, not speed," he said. "But if you truly seek an answer, do you see that stone in the river?" Riku looked at a flat rock, half submerged in water. "Turn that stone over and keep watch. When its sharp edge has been worn smooth by the current, then you are ready to receive what you seek." Riku stared at him. "That will take years, centuries." The old man smiled. "Some things seem slow, but bring you faster where you need to be. Others seem fast, but carry you the wrong way." Riku sighed deeply. "That's not an answer. That's a waste of time." And he left, determined to succeed on his own. Years passed. Riku traveled from city to city. He earned money and lost it. He trusted people who betrayed him. He chased success shortcuts, but each one cost him more than he imagined. One day, older, wearier, and empty-handed, he returned to Tsukimura. The village had changed, slightly more modern, but the river still flowed. And there, on the same stone, sat Soma. His hair was no grayer, his back no more bent. He looked exactly as Riku had left him. "You've returned," said the old man. "I have failed," said Riku. "But now I understand what you meant." Soma smiled softly. "Then your journey was not in vain." Riku knelt. "May I shake your hand?" The old man reached out, but just then a breeze swept through the bamboo forest. Leaves rustled like whispers, and where Soma had sat, there was suddenly nothing except a silver foxtail resting on the stone. The river bubbled along, as if nothing had happened. When Riku moved into a small wooden house near the bamboo forest, the encounter with the old man and his sudden disappearance echoed in his thoughts for days. He had taken the silver foxtail with him, not out of greed, but wonder. Sometimes it felt as if the tail moved in his hand, as if it breathed. At night, when the moon was full and round above the village, Riku sometimes heard strange sounds from the forest. A soft rustling followed by the clear laughter of a man, or was it the cry of a fox? One evening he could no longer resist. He followed the sound. Along the path of fallen leaves, past mist-shrouded rice fields, he reached a clearing where moonlight turned the grass silver-white. And there, in the center of the circle, stood the old man. But something had changed. His eyes glowed golden yellow like flames. His hands trembled, his back straightened, and slowly, his silhouette began to shift. His robe fell like empty skin, his face lengthened into a snout. His body grew smaller, yet stronger. Before Riku's eyes, Soma transformed into a majestic snow-white fox with 9 long, flowing tails swaying in the wind. The fox looked at him, not with fear or haste, but with a calm, eternal gaze. Then it leapt into the air, spun once, and dissolved into a trail of smoke and starlight, vanishing into the bamboo leaves. Riku now knew what the elders had always whispered, but never understood. Soma had never been human. He was a Kitsune, an ancient fox spirit of wisdom, a messenger of Inari who descended into the world of humans to share truth and insight. He had taken on forms, spoken in riddles, and now his work was done. From that night on, Riku sat by the river each morning, not seeking wealth but listening, to the water, to people, to life. And sometimes, just sometimes, village children heard laughter from the forest, or saw a white blur move low to the ground. Sometimes, a fox stood on the rock where Riku sat. But if you blinked, it was gone. The days passed, and Riku lived in quietude, as he had seen the old sage do. He gave advice to villagers, learned from the seasons, and spoke with children by the river. But at night, at night, something began to shift. First came the dreams. Riku wandered through forests he had never known, under skies filled with stars that glowed like fox eyes. In his dreams, he heard whispers. Your heart has grown soft. Your eyes now look inward. Are you ready to bear what lies hidden? He awoke with pine needles in his hair, fur on his arms, that vanished by dawn. One night, beneath a full moon, he walked in a trance to the river. The silver foxtail he had kept for years rested in his hands. In the water's reflection, he saw himself. But his eyes were no longer his own. They were golden. Kitsune gold. And then he heard it, not from without, but within, the voice of Soma. Wisdom is given not to those who seek it, but to those who honor it. You, Riku, have listened. You have carried it. The time has come. The moonlight blazed. The wind held its breath. Riku felt his body grow lighter, his skin warmer. His back straightened, but his hands became paws. His hair became silver-white fur. His breath smelled of autumn and smoke. And from his back, one by one, tails emerged. First one, then 3. At last, 5. He did not fall. He did not vanish. He stood, still, as the foxman. No longer the apprentice, but a new spirit. Part human, part wisdom. A being in between. In Tsukimura, they say a traveler still passes through. A young man, gentle, with sharp eyes and a warm smile. He knows much, but says little. At night, children see a white fox running past the rice fields, sometimes with 5 tails, sometimes more. And by the river, on a smooth stone, someone sits, or something. A fox spirit, Who listens? The peace of Tsukimura lasted for generations. The fields flourished, the people lived simply, and by the river stood the stone no one dared sit upon, out of respect for the spirit that sometimes appeared there. But as autumn never lasts forever, change came. One day, strangers arrived, men in silk robes, with horses laden with tools. They laughed loudly, spoke in quick words, and pointed at the bamboo forest and the river. "There's gold in this land," they said, "and copper in the mountains. You could be rich. Trade your forest for houses, your river for factories." Some villagers listened, some hesitated. But the village elder, a young woman named Hana, felt something was wrong. She went to the river, where the silver tail could still sometimes be seen, swaying gently in the mist. There he sat, the fox spirit. Riku. Hana knelt. "They want to destroy the forest," she whispered. "What should we do?" Riku was silent. His eyes, golden as autumn light, gazed at the water. Then he spoke softly. "Where greed grows, harmony dies. But where memory lives, protection arises." He gave her no weapons, no warriors, only a small, unremarkable object, a wooden fox figure with a secret text carved into its belly in ancient script. "Place this where they begin to dig," Riku said, "and watch what they truly awaken." The next day the men began digging in the forest. But as the first shovel struck earth, the air began to change. The sun dimmed, the wind hushed, and from the ground rose a thick, silent mist. In that mist the men saw themselves, not as they imagined, but as they truly were, hungry, grasping creatures. Their desires took shape. Gold turned to mud. Coins melted into blood. Everything they touched became dust. In panic, they fled the village. Some fell. Some never spoke again. And the forest became quieter than ever. Hana understood then. This was no illusion. It was the true face of greed, revealed by the power of the Kitsune. That night, all the villagers gathered. They placed tiny fox statues by the river. They held a lantern procession through the forest path. And they vowed, "As long as the forest lives, so does our heart. As long as the fox watches, we are protected." Wisdom is not a weapon, but a mirror. The Kitsune does not fight with force, but with truth. Sometimes you don't need to shout to change the world. You only need to reveal what no one dares to see.